Each off.
Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So I'm here to do my final July wrap-up for the last few, like 9-10 days of July. I was going to wait until tomorrow to do it because honestly this list is not as fun as my last ones. And I wanted to get at least one more 5-star in, but realistically I'm not going to read any more today. This is the 31st of July, so let's just do this. Also, I can't really talk about some of the books in here because they're parts of series, so yeah. Anyway, let's just get started with the first one I can talk about. It is Table for Five by Susan Wiggs. I gave this one 4 stars. Okay, so I really need to start reading my book descriptions better because the description for this one says, before an estranged couple is killed in an unthinkable tragedy, they designate 2 guardians for their children, a man and a woman, who are essentially strangers and who have nothing in common except compassion for the couple's 3 orphan children. So the couple, or the 2 people that are becoming guardians, are Sean and Lily. Lily is best friends with the children's mother, and also the daughter's teacher too, weirdly enough. And Sean is the children's father's brother, who was kind of a bachelor and did his own thing. So yeah, the reason I say that I should have read the description more is because I didn't track that they're an estranged couple. They were like divorced already and fighting incessantly. Like, I have never been, this sounds terrible, okay? Because usually when you read about parents dying, you're upset. Like, this is tragic. This is sad. And I've never been so happy to see a couple die. They were awful people. Like, we see like at the beginning of the story, they're going to their kids' parent conference, and yikes. Like, their divorce is so bitter and they're so hateful to each other. Like, woof. And like, so when they die, I don't even care. I'm like, oh, thank God you're gone. And we can get on to the real story. Like, I mean, obviously I'm sad for the kids, but like, sheesh. But anyway, the fact that they're estranged makes the guardianship difficult because the mom wanted Lily to be the guardian and was going to change that in her will. She hadn't done it yet. She was in the process of changing it when they got divorced. And the dad wanted Sean to be the guardian, which was already in his, like, their joint will. Or his will, I guess. So, Sean got the kids, and him and Lily kind of fight a bit because, you know, she knows them more. He barely knows the kids, so it's kind of an insult to her that he gets them and, you know, he doesn't really know them. So that was an interesting dynamic. I assumed when I saw that they were when I first saw that they were divorced, I sort of figured, okay, each of them has a will and they're just going to raise them together and romance abounds. This isn't that much of a romance. I mean, it is because, you know, the end result is Sean and Lily do get together. But really the majority of it is like the kids and Sean and Lily grieving these people's deaths. He's grieving the death of his brother and she's grieving the death of her best friends and kind of getting the kids through it. But honestly, it also kind of is the unraveling of the messed up things these parents did. Like the bad decisions they made in regard to their kids before they died. Like, it is, I've never read a book where it's almost like they made really bad decisions during the divorce that messed with their kids' heads. I can't say what they are, but like, put it this way. They would have been a lot worse off if the parents had lived and kept messing with their heads. I've never, like, I feel guilty saying it, but I mean, good thank God they're fictional characters, but man, it was wild. So 4 stars, just because I never thought that I'd be like happy to see, well, not happy, but just like, these people suck. Like, not sad that parents died, but there we are, a first. Then I read Forever, Firstborn, number 5. It's in the Baxter series, by Karen Kingsbury. I gave this one 5 stars. Can't talk about it. It's in the middle of the series. Then I read one that just came out that I was really looking forward to. The Secret Hotel in Berlin by Catherine Hawkins. I gave this one 4 stars. It wasn't as interesting as I thought. Well, it was interesting, but it wasn't as riveting as I thought. So, this is about Lily. She and her husband run the Adel Hotel. And it is kind of Hitler's favorite hotel. It ends up being Hitler's favorite hotel. And, like, lots of planning and stuff happens during, you know, their stays there. And Lily is Jewish, so, you know, she is kind of risking discovery while she's serving tea to Hitler. You know, something happened in her family before the war, and she left basically where she lived, I can't remember where she lived, and moved to Berlin, where she just decided to pretty much change her identity. Not knowing that soon there'd be a war, and, you know, it all just got mixed up. So she's Jewish, and she married a Christian guy, and, or a Gentile, I guess is what they call it. And, next thing you know, she's in charge of this big hotel where all the Nazis go. And so she starts, spying for the resistance and stuff. And once her husband goes off to war, she starts hiding people and getting them to safety and stuff like that. And it just kind of becomes more suspenseful because, you know, she's like hiding people under the Nazis' noses practically. And it becomes more dangerous, and yeah. Then we have the present day storyline where this woman is trying to basically remodel the hotel. Like, the hotel is under construction again. They're trying to revamp it to bring it back. And she meets Lily's descendant. And the rumor is that Lily was a known Nazi and she died through the resistance, but it doesn't make a lot of sense. So they're kind of trying to solve the mystery of Lily. The interesting thing is that it doesn't just talk about World War II. The present day storyline... Oops, the house phone's ringing. It's usually a nobody. Let's see.
Call from Los Angeles.
Yep, it's a nobody. I have to wait for it to stop ringing now. That's annoying.
From Los Angeles, CA.
Okay, it only rings 4 times. Anyway, so the interesting thing is the present day storyline is right after the Berlin Wall comes down. And so, you have, like, some people who believed in East Germany's rules and stuff, and then others who didn't. And we see Lily's daughter was very devout in those beliefs, and that tore her and her son apart. So it actually shows a lot of history that you don't really see in most World War II books. So you kind of go through the 40s and into the 80s. So that was an interesting read. The only thing that made me give it less than a 5-star is that, like, we don't see Lily with her daughter very much. And it implies, like, I thought it would be something like The Nightingale, where the daughter was a presence throughout most of the book, but she's not. So, like, we see her as an old woman kind of battling abandonment issues and stuff from her mom and stuff like that. But we don't see their relationship during Lily's timeline, so I don't know. I just wanted to see more of that, I guess, to really fall for this loving mother thing. Like, they're telling us that she's a loving mother, but they don't show it too much. So I can kind of see why her daughter kind of has some abandonment issues. Anyway, so 4 stars. It was okay. Then I read In the Dark, the D.I. Adam Foley book number 2 by Kara Hunter. I heard about this through Meredith from the Currently Reading podcast. I gave it 4 stars. It was okay. I can't, it's part of a series. This book is twisted. Essentially, a little boy and a woman is found in this old guy's basement, and the theory is that he was born down there. Like, it's kind of a room situation where she was held hostage and gave birth to a kid. And yeah, and it's creepy. 4 stars. Then I read I'm Her Mother by Lauren North. This is one of the new releases that Chloe from Always Book talked about in her new release video for July. I gave it 5 stars, but I gave it 5 stars because I was surprised throughout the whole book. Like, you never knew where it was going to go. There were so many twists, it was almost unbelievable. And just when you think you understood it, you didn't. But I also can't say I liked the book. So look, we both say she's our daughter, but one of us is lying. My little girl Lola is my whole world. 3 years old and so beautiful. All golden curls and dimpled cheeks. But on our way home from holiday, she was stolen. Whisked away in the blink of an eye. I can't... Okay. The woman who has my daughter is on the run. And she has no intention of bringing Lola home. Because she says she's her mother. But that's impossible because I'm Lola's mother. So, like, you have your doubts of who is Lola's mother for the whole book. And one of them, the kidnapper, kind of looks crazy for a while. And then it gets explained and then re-explained. It's so weird. Like, it took you on a journey. And I wonder about Lauren North's twisted mind to be able to even make sense of all that in her head. Because I was going, whoa, like I was getting hit by revelation after revelation. And it was pretty wild. There's a terrible mother-in-law in this book. But honestly, the one who raised Lola, by the end of it, I kind of hated her too. I won't tell you why, but ugh. Like, when you read the story, you'll kind of get it. But at the same time, it felt, I don't know. It just felt kind of like you didn't need to have that much action. Too much happened to where it was unbelievable. But at the same time, I still enjoyed the ride. So, yeah. Then I read a short story from the Kate Burkholder series, Seeds of Deception. This is book 7.5. It's in between 7 and 8. Although it's not really, because it's a story about Kate's childhood. So you probably should just put this as book number 0, because you're going way back in time. This is when she was still in the Amish community. I gave it 3 stars. She's trying to figure out who burned down a barn. Then I read New Girl in Little Cove by Damnate Monahan. I gave this one 2 stars. This one was one that I heard about from Currently Reading's indie press list. I bought it a couple years ago, and now I wish I hadn't. This is about... After the local French teacher scandalizes the fishing village of Little Cove, Newfoundland, by running off with the priest, the school looks to the mainland to fill the job quickly. They want someone who can uphold their Catholic values and keep a motley group of largely unwilling students in line. The position is filled by mainlander Rachel O'Brien, technically a Catholic, baptized, technically a teacher, honors degree, who's desperate to leave her current mess of a life behind. She isn't surprised that her students don't see the value of learning French. Okay. So, essentially, some of it is funny because she's trying to, like, learn to adjust to the customs and stuff like that. But she does something later in the book because they're very, very devout Catholics. And then a situation happens with one of the girl students and she gives them advice that is not Catholic, and she still manages to keep her job in the end. And I might not be politically correct not to like that this happened, but I didn't because it's not realistic to a Catholic school. You'd be fired for giving this advice. So, yeah. But there were some funny characters. Like, there were some funny parts. Like, at one point, she misunderstands their accents and she thinks a kid called her a slut, so she sends the kid to the principal's office. And that was funny. But, I don't know. It was okay. I gave it 2 stars just because of that. I don't know. Anyway, then I read Finley Donovan Knocks 'Em Dead. This is part of the Finley Donovan series, book 2. I finally got back to it. I don't know why. As soon as I got into this, I was so happy. I love these books. They're hilarious. The first one, basically, I'm not going to talk about this one because it's the second one. But in the first one, Finley Donovan is a single mother, divorced single mother. Her ex-husband sucks. And she is a struggling writer. And somebody overhears her talking to her agent about a book she's writing, like a murder mystery or something. And they think she's a contract killer, and it goes from there. You know, hilarity ensues, and she ends up in accidental crime. She doesn't actually commit any crimes, but she has to bury bodies that other people killed. Anyway, it's a whole thing. I mean, like, the series is hilarious. Then the last one I read is Dead Tired by Kat Ailes. 4 stars. This is a sequel to, this is the second one in the Expected Detective series. This is a year after all the moms have their babies, so they're dead tired. And they basically go to this protest. And they're chained to trees. I didn't really understand what they were protesting, honestly. But they're chained to trees. And they're there all night. And then in the morning they wake up and someone is strangled to death on one of the trees. So who killed them and all of that. That's kind of the mystery. But honestly, like, I consider this kind of cozy mysteries just because you don't really care about who died because they weren't really much of a character. So a lot of it is them, like, trying to solve the mysteries and getting into crazy situations while they do it. They're amateur detectives, all of these moms, and it's really the fun part is the relationship between the moms. Honestly, the only thing that made me give it 4 stars is that one of the moms is super annoying. Like, she's one of those who shoves her beliefs down your throat. Like, you shouldn't eat meat, you're killing, you know, and, like, she makes everybody feel like they should be vegetarians and use cloth diapers and stuff. She's one of those who is constantly hounding you, and, like, it's meant to be funny, but I don't find it funny. Especially when, like, the main character mom, I forget her name already, is trying to live up to that. It's just infuriating. And also, I took down a star because her and her husband, well, 2 things. How did I already forget? Alice is the main character, like the main mom. The perspective that the story is told from. So Alice and her husband, or boyfriend actually, they're not even married yet. They're having McDonald's and she's eating fries and she gives the baby a carrot stick while she's consuming fries, and I find that enraging. There's one of the, I don't know. I just can't stand it when adults are eating something yummy and then they give a kid vegetables, like the hypocrites that they are. Anyway, also, the other thing is that the Earth Mother friend, you know, who's obsessed with environment and vegetarianism, and says that they should all use cloth diapers. And at one point, she has to use disposable diapers on her baby because the baby's getting a rash. And they apparently worked. And nobody tells her anything. Are you kidding? If you guilted me into washing diapers every day, I would remind you of that for the rest of my life. I wouldn't, like, give you a pass because your kid got a rash. No way. You would be feeling the guilt of wasting, of screwing with the environment for me for the rest of your born days, for guilting me into washing poopy cloth diapers. That is why it is 4 stars. And on that note, we are done. Those are all the books that I read for this last week of July. I'm going to do another video that I'm going to post soon about what I want to do for my birthday this month as far as books. And I'm hoping I can get your help with that. So please stay tuned for that one. Maybe I'll post that one first. I'm not sure. Anyway, please like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll talk to you guys in my next video. Bye.
Speech. Stop recording video.